Like and subscribe if you like the content put forth, and please comment down below. Thank you. I wanted to do a video basically on this whole situation where people are saying that dark skinned, mixed race, black people, or whatever, um, are basically seen as black and are encouraged by dark skinned black people who are supposedly not mixed, are, you know, basically encouraging them to not say that they are mixed because they're dark skinned. I do not see this happening very often. Honestly, to be completely honest, I see more dark skinned black people will do this to lighter skinned black people. Because the thing is, with lighter skinned black people, they fear the issue of escapism. That's what they basically have an issue of. They think that if mixed people who are lighter skinned admit to being mixed or dwell in being mixed long enough, they will basically say they aren't black, and then they will act like they're better than black people, and then black people will have yet another people to feel less than. That's their whole issue there. Um, you see, I've noticed that they get more hard about lighter skinned black people admitting they're mixed or saying they have mixture in their ancestry, more than, dark skinned black people. Now, it can be that very light skinned black people, it's different because very light skinned people who are mixed, sometimes they're like, well, it's undoubtedly true that they're mixed. Like, say someone like Alicia Keys, for example, they're going to probably be like, well, she's obviously mixed. Nothing we can do there. But they will still try and use the thing about, oh, you're not white kind of thing to try and humble them, basically, which is really fucked up because who said white was the ultimate end all be all? But I think that honestly, like, say for example, someone like Beyonce's color. You see more often people like Beyonce's color, for example, or like Tyra Banks' color, or even, it depends, people who are caramel, a little bit lighter than Beyonce, like, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. Sometimes they'll say that that phenotype is undoubtedly mixed. Sometimes they will hold on. It depends. That's why for me, in my experience, I've experienced it both ways where they'll be like, well, they'll think you're mixed, or well, they'll hold on and say you're not mixed and be like really freaked out about it. Whichever way it goes. But I've noticed mostly they hold really true to the whole thing with like basically those people who are like light brown, I guess you could say, like Tyra Banks, like, someone who is like a sugar brown complexion, I guess you could say. But you'll see that more often they'll get more sensitive to someone like that saying they're mixed than say someone who is like, you know, as dark as Kelly Rowland. Someone Kelly Rowland's color, I think they feel safe with, honestly. They feel like even if she says she's mixed, everyone can see how she looks. They don't really care what she says she is because they feel like everyone's going to see her as black anyway. So they don't mind her saying she's mixed. I've seen so many times people much darker skinned saying they're mixed very openly, and people would celebrate that. But if someone is like lighter, in complexion, or like light brown or something like that, or like not even like a caramel, but I'm saying a little bit darker than that, like a Whitney Houston hue or something, they'll get a little bit more sensitive about it. Like I said, their issue is people not seeing them as black and seeing them as mixed. If someone looks clearly black, they can say they're mixed all day long. It's not going to change anything. I think what the issue is they think society is going to treat them better. But isn't society going to treat you however they see you, not what you are in the first place? I think that's really more the truth. But a lot of black Americans don't like to admit this because it makes them really uncomfortable because it's something that they can't really stop or change. You can't stop how someone else is going to see you. You can't stop how someone else is going to treat you. You can't stop how someone is going to think of you. You know, those are things that they can't control. And obviously, because it's out of their hands and it makes them feel uncomfortable because it's not something they would want, because no one should be treating someone poorly because they are black, no matter what their color is, you know. Um, it becomes a situation where they feel like they're going to be put in a position where they're inferior or put in a position that they are less than, you know, and that's why they have that, you know, defensive mentality about it, basically. So that's all I have to say in this video. I'm gonna basically be done with this video, I guess. That's all I had to say. It's just, you know, I kind of feel like that's not really true. That dark skinned black people are put to a higher level of not putting that they're mixed. I think many of the time people just don't take it too seriously if they are told that a dark skinned person is mixed, because they're like, well, you still look black and you look more black than a lot of mixed people, so they're not going to take it seriously. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say was also on top of it, saying like someone who is not mixed directly, for example, if they have Asian in their heritage, well, then of course black Americans will say that's not really that important of a factor because black Americans have other races in their heritage. You know, black Americans aren't just black, they're usually about 24% European, and then they have a little bit Native American as well, sometimes about 1%, I think. So because of that, that's why a lot of black Americans really don't, you know, um, take that too seriously. If someone's a quarter Asian, no one's gonna act like that's gonna make someone mixed because most black Americans have a quarter non black in them in the first place, you know. So that's why, you know, I think they make light of the situation. And if you think of it, honestly, I think it's biased to say that dark skinned black people who don't look mixed to you aren't mixed, but someone who does is, because that's just silly. You're just going off of phenotype. But if they have non black ancestry in them and another person has non black ancestry in them, if you're saying that people need to claim what they are, then I think everybody would have to do that. That would include black Americans who would also claim. Sorry about that, I got cut off. But yeah, they would also claim their English heritage for the most part, and Irish heritage, and in some cases, small amounts of Native American and Asian heritage as well. And honestly, it's like, well, honestly, I don't get this part. Why do people act like it can't show if it's in you? I don't get it. If something is in you, if you have Asian in you, if you have Native American in you, if you have European in you, if it's a very small percentage but it shows, why do people freak out about this? I don't get it. It's like some kind of mathematical error in their brain or something that they can't click two and two together. It's weird to me because it's like, even if you have a very small percentage of a certain heritage, if you look similar to that heritage, then it obviously has an impact on your phenotype. So I don't understand why people get mad at this, why people act like it shouldn't be or it shouldn't exist. I've seen this happen plenty of times where people are like, well, it's too small of a percentage. No, it's never too small of a percentage to be a part of you. You know, if it's a part of you and you happen to have a phenotype similar to it, there's no shock here, you know? And I think people need to get back to the drawing board of genetics, you know, math and understanding, you know, 75%, 80%, and even 90% isn't 100%, you know. So that's all I have to say in this video. I'm not saying, by the way, that black people are mixed or that black people shouldn't call themselves black, you know. We do have mixed ancestry, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say in this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and bye.